Have you ever noticed how the biggest changes in life rarely happen in a single moment? They don't arrive with fireworks or dramatic turning points. Instead, they build slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, through small actions repeated over time. And yet, these small actions, these tiny decisions, often shape the entire direction of our lives. Today, I want to talk about something simple, almost boring on the surface, but incredibly powerful underneath. Showing up. Not once. Not when you feel motivated. Not when everything is perfect. But every day. Even when you don't feel like it. Let me ask you something. How many times have you waited for motivation before starting something? You tell yourself, I'll begin when I feel ready. Or, I'll do it when I have more energy. Or maybe even, I just need the right mood. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you feel unstoppable, like you could conquer anything. Other days, even the smallest task feels heavy. If your progress depends on motivation, then your progress will always be inconsistent. But showing up? That's different. Showing up doesn't require you to feel inspired. It only requires you to decide. Think about someone who becomes really good at something. A musician, a developer, an athlete. Do you think they felt motivated every single day? Of course not. There were days they were tired, days they were distracted, days they doubted themselves. But they showed up anyway. And that's the difference. Not talent, not luck. Consistency. There's something almost magical about consistency, even though it looks very ordinary from the outside. When you show up every day, even for a short time, you start building something invisible. A habit, a rhythm, a sense of identity. You're no longer someone who is trying to do something. You become someone who does it. That shift is powerful, because once your identity changes, your actions follow naturally. Let's make it practical. Imagine you want to learn English. You could study for 5 hours in one day, then stop for a week. Or, you could practice for 20 minutes every single day. Which one do you think will work better? Most people know the answer, but they still choose the first option. Why? Because intense effort feels productive. Consistency feels slow. And we live in a world that rewards speed. But real growth doesn't care about speed. It cares about repetition. There's a concept I really like. It's called minimum effort, maximum consistency. Instead of asking, how much can I do today? You ask, what's the smallest thing I can do that I won't skip? Maybe it's writing one paragraph. Maybe it's reading one page. Maybe it's practicing speaking for 5 minutes. It sounds small, almost too small. But that's the point. Because when something feels easy to start, you actually start. And once you start, you often do more anyway. But let's be honest. The hardest part is not the work. It's the resistance before the work. That voice in your head that says, not today. You're too tired. You can do it tomorrow. That voice never completely disappears. Even people who are extremely disciplined still hear it. The difference is, they don't listen to it. They act anyway. There's a powerful idea I want you to remember. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel good before you act. You act, and then you start to feel better. You start to feel momentum. You start to feel progress. And that feeling becomes your new motivation. Let's zoom out for a moment. Imagine your life 1 year from now. Not based on your goals. Not based on your plans. But based on your daily actions. If you read a little every day, you become knowledgeable. If you practice a skill every day, you become skilled. If you take care of your health every day, you become stronger. But if you wait, if you delay, if you keep saying later, then later becomes never. There's no perfect time to start. There's no perfect condition. There's only now, and what you choose to do with it. I know sometimes it feels overwhelming. You look at where you are and where you want to be, and the gap feels huge. Too big. Too far. But here's something important. You don't close the gap in one step. You close it one day at a time. One small action at a time. And most of the time, you won't even notice the progress while it's happening. It's only when you look back that you realize how far you've come. Let me tell you a simple truth. You don't need to be amazing to start, but you do need to start to become amazing. And starting doesn't mean doing something big. It means doing something. Anything. There will be days when you feel like you're not improving. Days when everything feels slow. Days when you question if it's even worth it. Those days matter the most. Because those are the days that build discipline. And discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. If you can show up on the hard days, the boring days, the days when no one is watching, then you're building something real, something strong, something that lasts. So here's a simple challenge for you. Pick one thing, just one, something you care about, and commit to showing up for it every day. Not perfectly, not intensely, just consistently. Even if it's for a few minutes, even if it feels small, do it anyway. Because in the end, success is not about doing something incredible once. It's about doing something simple again and again and again, until it becomes part of who you are. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look back and think, I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I kept going. I'm glad I showed up. So today, don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start. And then show up again tomorrow. Thanks for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, take a moment, not to think about it, but to act on it, even in the smallest way, because that's where everything begins. I'll see you in the next episode.